Wait, Koney, you ready?
We live.
We live. Right now, you are listening to Elevated Radio. I am LB along with Koney and DJ Swale.
What's going on, y'all?
Yep.
It's June 25th, 2020. I don't know if you guys are keeping up with the dates, but that's for you guys.
Thanks.
I didn't know 4th of July was next week. That shit was crazy. I found that out earlier.
Yeah, you celebrating?
The year is really going by fast.
I mean, this shit hella fast.
But are you celebrating it?
What, 4th of July?
Yeah.
Nah, I celebrate Juneteenth.
Okay.
Probably not celebrating. I might go somewhere.
See that segue? What'd you guys do for Juneteenth?
Went to a block party.
Okay.
What did I do? Rode some bikes for our freedom ride.
Your freedom ride.
Yeah, I had a freedom
I
ride.
did see. Did you post it on social media?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I saw
Yeah,
that.
rode some bikes, man. Come out one day.
Yeah, nah, I wore my Juneteenth shirt. I went on a hike. I went to black-owned restaurants for
Me too.
the entire weekend, and I mainly like just order stuff and from like other black-owned companies, but I didn't really like do too much.
Not bad. Not bad.
I didn't get paid Juneteenth weekend, so hey, that was.
You got paid the weekend?
I said I didn't get paid Juneteenth week like that Friday. I got paid the following.
I think I did.
Oh. I see what you're saying.
So I had to do like
you're right.
the
You're
little things, like order a few things from here and
You mean
put
this
on my
week?
shirt. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't get paid till tomorrow, so I feel that.
What'd you do?
Not until next week. Ditto. Yeah, all the above. Yeah, it was great. So, wait, can you hear me? Oh, okay. Just making sure. You know how that goes.
Is this gonna bother you?
No, it's not. I didn't know you were gonna.
Coney in
blaze
here
it up.
smoking
I'm tired.
loud.
Everybody, Coney
I'm
smoking
not
loud.
smoking loud. This is a hookah pen.
I've heard that before.
You can look. Strawberry watermelon.
Can't you put like weed, what do you call them, cartridges?
No, it comes like this. You can't
Like
put
a
anything
Keurig?
else in it.
Yeah, you know they got little Keurig things now
Well,
for the weed pens. Yeah,
Oh,
you know
so
that?
you know, huh?
Yeah. What's that supposed to mean? I'm informed. What the streets are selling now. It's a new product.
Oh, okay.
Okay, appreciate it. But nobody, just to be clear, nobody's celebrating 4th of July.
Nah.
No,
How long do you think that'll last?
just this year.
Nah. I think it'll be good.
You think black people will no longer?
It depends, right? So if we go as hard like we did for this Juneteenth, next year Juneteenth, and there's like no coronavirus and stuff like that, I feel like a lot more people will celebrate Juneteenth and will lessen the amount of people that celebrate 4th of July. But I do still think there are going to be people of color who celebrate 4th of July.
I mean, I don't.
And not in the aspect of independence, but a cookout, you know what I'm saying?
Which
a
I
block
don't mind.
party.
I don't mind both. But you can't one can't be way more than the other. You know what I'm saying? Because we celebrate a lot of fake holidays. So I don't mind celebrating this one. But Juneteenth needs some importance as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, so I've never understood the mental capacity of going back and forth between 4th of July, because that, along with that holiday, there are at least 3 other holidays that we don't celebrate. It's just cookout. So it's almost like all we have to do is take that cookout from 4th of July and move it to Juneteenth. We're not doing anything extra. We're not going to the black family's backyard to shoot fireworks. You know what I'm saying? Like, you going down the street to the ballpark if you live near Uptown Charlotte, or you're going to some huge house in a white neighborhood. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What, Memorial Day, Labor Day? Oh, where the cookout? We ain't celebrating these holidays. We just,
Cookout at the park, family reunions.
Yeah, it's time we just be real with ourselves. And I saw on Twitter earlier, somebody said, this is exactly why I don't support the black businesses with restaurants, because you get a seafood platter and it's $40.
Yo, that is.
You're like, I want to
to
support you, but that ticket.
Yeah, I can't pay $40 for that.
Ticket do be high.
Ticket be high.
I be trying.
You don't try.
I do.
Yeah, me and Swale went to a joint right up the street, never knew existed until this last weekend. So I do appreciate.
Was it a seafood spot?
It's called Chicken and Ribs.
Oh, okay.
on Beatty's Ford.
I heard of it.
The
Seen
Ford.
it.
Coney, you ain't got to flex. You ain't hear this.
No, you forgot
You've
I
heard
live
about the
down the
infamous-
street.
The
Did you forget what
chicken
street I
and
live off of?
wings. Coney, we have been here since 2016. We never knew it existed.
No, I'm saying when I moved over there, I saw it because I that place and the other place on the corner, Mr.
Stand your ground, Coney.
Yeah, stay your ground. What you get from there? What do you
No.
usually get?
I didn't say I
Oh,
went.
you
I
never
said I
been.
saw
You
it
peeped. She peeped, y'all. She peeped.
because it's down the street from my house.
Do we have anything more uplifting to talk about? I have an obvious first topic that we're going to get into. I just want to make sure that we have exhausted all other opportunities
For good news.
to deflect. Because some people might not leave here friends. That's all I'm saying. Like, these are one of those conversations where it could just go one way or the other. You could find out what the other person really, really thinks of you at the end of the day. And I'm not looking at Swale, but I'm looking at Swale.
You know what I say? Fuck him.
Okay, yeah.
Here you
That's
go.
how we started off. We should have actually, matter of fact, we should have used that pillow behind Coney as the speaking pillow for this segment, because I
think we
feel
actually need
it
this.
could get out of hand
Sir.
very
I'm
fast.
talking. I got the pillow now. Yes, sir. That's all I had to say.
He's holding it like a baby too.
Would
Yeah.
you like the pillow?
Let me tell you
LB?
one thing. Like, yeah.
You can have the pillow. The talking pillow.
What else? Are there any Black excellence milestones to speak to?
Nah.
Make sure you guys watch the BET Awards. Amanda Seale is hosting it. It's going to be the first time it's virtual, so it's going to be an
I'm probably not.
interesting way to see it.
Is it free?
Do you have BET?
So it's not free. Okay.
Do you not have like BET on anything?
I mean, I'm sure I can get it, but if you're doing a virtual event for Black people, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't have cable. Like, look out for the folks.
I mean, I think well,
'Cause even
far
news
as
is
I
free.
know, it's BT app, BT Plus app, CBS All Access app.
Which is extra. Both of those last two are extra.
Well, you can get a free trial for any of those.
I was about to say, Swale, if you really did your homework, you could find one trial.
I need it to be free.
The trial
Yeah,
is
the trial's free.
I mean,
They
yeah,
just
the
need a
trial.
card.
Oh, who?
They just need a card.
Nah.
I mean, after you watch it, just cancel the subscription. They won't charge you. I mean, you still have access for the rest of the week. You just won't be
BET's
charged.
the feds.
I ain't doing it.
Anyway, but I think it's going to be interesting to see how people are going to perform because they're still technically doing performances. So.
I think that's gonna be the most trash thing about it. You know, I watched the pieces of it. I'm not gonna say I watched the whole thing. The John Legend versus Alicia Keys battle that was on Juneteenth was pretty cool, and it was on the Versus Instagram page. So if many of you were looking for it on either John Legend or Alicia Keys Instagram, it wasn't, and that's probably primarily because they did it together, so they needed the same room. Didn't want to worry about connection issues because they were actually performing, which is something that most of the other versus battles didn't do. Teddy Riley tried to do it. They're not doing that anymore. So I think I the reason I brought it up is because if it's like that, all right, cool, but I don't want to see you running back and forth between your couch. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that performance gonna look like?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe it'll still be like a stage. I feel like they'll still have the aspects of it, but just without the crowd. So, you know, they won't be panning the crowd and you seeing stars like enjoying the music and stuff.
No, they're gonna pan the Zoom that all of the BET executives are sitting in. No, I
don't know.
I
We'll
can't be
see.
unfair. I can't be
We'll
unfair.
see.
The NFL did kill it because I remember I was watching the third round, which nobody's watching. But no, it wasn't even the third round. It was like day 3, I think. And so it was probably like the 5th round. And her performed, and she did like, Jesus. Was that Swale?
You okay?
Yeah, say excuse me.
My
Good.
boy, my boy tried to slip that in. You getting caught out on this show.
Hey, real smooth. Like, we good though. We good.
So anyway, her performance, she did like the guitar and everything, and then everybody else that's a part of her band like performed from wherever they were. So maybe you can make it work, but
Maybe.
let's be optimistic at least.
Maybe.
Yeah, you know, I wasn't really watching the BET Awards when it was
On TV?
when it wasn't socially distanced, but you know, maybe
It
it'll be
depends
something
on
cool.
who
Amanda's
hosts
funny.
it, who
Yeah.
hosts the BET Awards for me, honestly,
And
and
we
like the performances they're gonna have.
Right. And we can't talk about it, but obviously Insecure's finale came on like over a week ago. Koney, are
Why
you
we
caught
can't
up on
talk
that?
about it?
Because Swale.
I'm
Oh, you
still
didn't hear
catching
this
up.
during pre-production?
Oh my
Come on,
god!
man. I'm getting close.
You
Swale
had
is on-
one job.
I'm close though. I'm almost done.
What's close?
He's on episode 2.
Oh my god, you're not close.
And I'm not even sure if it's this season. He might be on episode 2 of last season.
I'm on the first season. Give me a chance.
No, stop it. You're on the first season?
Yeah.
Get out.
I
Close your
think.
ears.
I mean, I'm saying I think though.
Close your ears.
Yeah, you gotta leave. Wait, why do we have this conversation with you the first time then? Well, you were the judge. You weren't biased.
Yeah, I was a judge, and it was a fair topic though. Like it
For
was,
y'all who watched it, y'all know. Y'all know. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, give me 2 weeks.
No, I do want to talk about it again.
Give me 2 weeks. Give me 2 weeks. But the first time we talked about it was like a bigger topic. You know what I'm saying? Was he right or was her right type situation?
This is a bigger topic.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably less to reveal this time around because the first time around we were like spilling. I think that was the first season. We were talking about why was she right about cheating and all this, that, and the third.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this time around it's literally just one bomb, but the bomb is the bomb's big enough. All right,
Bombs
well,
of
I guess
bacon.
catch us maybe December. We can recap it after Swale is caught
Give me
up.
like a couple weeks, man. I'll catch up.
Couple weeks. Okay, it keep getting longer. First
said
you
a
said a
couple.
week, then you said 2. Now you saying a couple.
All right, give me like 2. Give me 2. We'll do it in
30-minute
July. How about
episodes,
that?
man.
July.
We'll do it in July.
30-minute episodes.
I'll catch up in
July
July.
is next week. So what do we mean by July?
That's what I'm saying. So I can watch a couple this week, a couple next week, and we'll just roll the punches. you
I've
feel me?
never known Swale to move that fast on any show.
I've never known him to
So-
move that fast, period.
So we will see. How's it going?
guess.
Koney, you've been on fire the last couple of weeks with these one-liners.
Oh man, thanks.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, so I guess that's it. So without further ado, let's move to this.
Yeah, let's dive right in. Let's go. Yes, sir. This
You
is
do
my
not have a
topic.
talking pillow.
Yeah.
Nobody has a talking pillow.
I don't need to give
Lawrence
any
hold a
of
talking
you.
pillow so he can feel better.
So anyway, I really got to use this?
Yeah, you can just put your hand on it.
Yeah, I'll put my hand on it.
Okay.
There's too much going on over here.
Let's dive right in. That's what I'm ready to talk
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. So just to let you guys know, there's been a lot going on the last couple of weeks.
A lot.
A lot of things geared towards racism and sexism and everything in between.
Yes.
It hasn't been too good outside. I don't know if you guys knew, but J. Cole released a song called Snow on a Bluff, which was in reference to the movie that came out. Don't know if you've seen it. It's irrelevant, so
Great
don't
movie.
worry about. Oh, you like it?
Yeah.
What was a Rotten Tomato view? Do you know?
Probably low.
I thought it was a good movie
Yeah.
for what it's worth.
Yeah, for what it is.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
It's not no, blockbuster. I mean, like no AMC or Studio Movie Grill and nothing like that.
Oh, it's not like Titanic.
Yeah.
Nah, definitely not.
Okay.
No.
So J. Cole released a song, and in the song, we can back up, we can fast forward. I mean, I'm sure everybody is up to speed on what the situation is. Now, in J. Cole's song, he made reference to a black woman who he praised for being highly educated, and someone who's more equipped to be a speaker and someone that's on the forefront of this plight that we're fighting in the black community. And the way he went about it in this song was to make note that although I agree with you, I don't quite appreciate the Queen's tone. And holistically, he was just saying, instead of criticizing me publicly, instead of coming at me on Twitter, just educate me. We have to treat each other gentle. I don't know. He said like children, but just
Paraphrasing here.
paraphrasing. Well, he did say children.
He did say children.
But his entire point was that we should treat each other gentle and understand that nourishment and love will ultimately get us to a place of better understanding, not just with each other, but it's a better approach to educate one another as opposed to ridiculing people publicly. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of backlash for J. Cole from that, particularly from black women. And the reason being is because there has been a whole stigma. Again, not sure if anybody knows this, but people tend to give black women the angry black woman title unfairly at times. And it's become a negative stigma in the community. I don't want to start off this conversation. I would rather Koney start off this conversation.
Emphasis
But
on
we're
at
gonna
times.
start at first. Let's just first talk about J. Cole's song. We don't have to talk about Noname or just the response that she even gave, but just when you heard the song, you thought what? Talking pillow, talking pillow.
Oh yeah,
Come on
sorry,
now.
forgot to talking pillow.
Yeah, let me get next. So I'm ready.
When I heard the song, I just heard him like explaining, I guess, his lack of knowledge with social injustice, I guess, for people of color, and kind of sort of asking for guidance in that department. And
Uh-oh. We're experiencing some weather here. Oh
oh, we lost him.
no! Come on! Need a new mic, man.
Oh, he's back.
All right, I think I'm in there. Yeah, I need a new mic, man. This is ridiculous. This is what your stimulus checks can get you.
So yeah, basically just like saying he's not knowledgeable or as knowledgeable as other people, particularly the no-name person, because I don't know. I'm after listening to the song, I hear his point, right? I'm not gonna sit up here and say I don't hear his point. There are other people than J. Cole who are not knowledgeable. Excuse me, who are not knowledgeable or who don't know as much as other people. With him asking to be treated like a child, you know, and trying to learn about, you know, what this whole movement is about. I kind of got to stop him right there, right? So for someone like him, who I feel is, you know, very, very a smart individual, who has shown his support for Black Lives Matter and the movement as a whole, I feel like, I don't know, personally, just me, I'm not going to jump into something without doing my research about it or, you know, delving into it. And not saying he hasn't. I don't know if he has or if he hasn't. But according to this song, you know, he's just not as knowledgeable as other people are. And saying, you know, don't persecute them for not knowing anything. And I get that point. I know in general as a people, when someone doesn't know anything, it's kind of like, for real, I got to sit up here and explain this to you. Come on now, for real. So I get that point. But as far as saying it's someone's job to, I'm real iffy about that, because I do a lot of my own research when it comes to any of these topics, social injustice against women, Black men, people of color, Black Lives Matter, just different avenues. So for me, I feel like, okay, yeah, you might not know as much, but to just, you know, kind of depend on someone else to teach it to you, I feel like might be the best tool, because I feel like you can always Google or research or find out information on your own. So I personally feel like that's something he needs to do. And I mean, right now we in quarantine and not doing nothing. You got plenty of time, you know what I'm saying, to look up information to find it out without having someone come sit you down and teach it to you. Now, there are people who don't mind doing that. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of, you know, philosophers and people of African American history who don't mind sitting down with somebody and explaining to them, you know, like, oh, well, this is what this means, and this is why people are fighting, and this is how long the oppression has been going on. But I don't feel like it's mandatory for someone who's, you know, a part of the movement to say, all the time say, hey, okay, let me take a step back and mentor you.
Yeah. But Swale, right before you go, I just want to, no, you don't have to hand it to me. But I want to read No-Name's tweets that started all of this. Many people want to draw from her tweet that seemingly may have called out two individuals. And let's begin there. J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. On social media, I've seen sides on either way, just saying, you know, on one hand, maybe No Name didn't mention any names. She didn't say. Come on, let's just.
We know who she's talking about.
We know who she's talking
We know
about.
subtweets.
Right. We know
subtweets. Yeah.
So I'm looking for that, and as I'm looking for that,
Well, you need it.
but I wanted to bring up also a tweet that some people may have overlooked as being a fuel to the situation. I can't find it right now, but
I just had it.
you want it?
Oh, who's gonna find it first? Uh oh.
Yeah. All right. So she had this initial tweet. I think
Okay.
it's like what was it? The 29th of May. She says, "Poor black folks all around the country are putting their bodies on the line in protest for our collective safety, and y'all favorite top selling rappers not even willing to put a tweet up. Niggas' whole discographies be about black plight, and they nowhere to be found." Okay, now I don't know when in that process J. Cole went out and protested, but
Whenever they had the march
assuming-
in Fayetteville.
yeah, so I'm thinking what, that was the beginning
Early.
of June?
Yeah.
Beginning of June. So, okay, yeah, it could have been a couple of days. You could be on the side of the fence that says, oh, J. Cole felt the need to go out there because No Name said something. I'd say J. Cole has a history of being pretty vocal and present in protests and marches.
I was gonna say that's not the first time he's been out.
present.
To remind many, he went to Ferguson to personally speak to that family at the time, and he was one of the first rappers to even visit Ferguson. So then, we love saying we need to start giving people the benefit of the doubt. So let's just give him the benefit of the doubt and say that I'm sure he was already thinking about going down to Fayetteville to march, even without that situation going on. Number two, back to my earlier point, we know that they're talking about two people. When you mention that, whole discography be about black plight, there are only two rappers that we're not talking about Drake. We're not talking about Travis Scott.
I'm not talking about Kanye.
Maybe, see, this is the thing. Like, Chance the Rapper is very politically conscious.
He's
but his
disgusting.
music is not politically
He's
conscious.
disgusting too.
So you're not talking about Chance the Rapper. So, when the smoke clears, and this is one of my biggest problems, I don't think that this attack was even for J. Cole to defend. I'd agree more if it was aimed towards Kendrick. And again, if you want to have these personal opinions about people because they don't have a tweet up, right, whatever. But seeing as J. Cole does have the track record, and I've mentioned it in previous podcast or the last podcast, actually, when he bought the first home he bought was the home that his mom was evicted in, or evicted from when he was in college. And the reason he bought it back was to allow single mothers to live there practically rent free for up to 2 years, and that they would go save a lot of money, move out with the intention that they'd be in a way better spot, and then he'd move in the next family.
Great guy.
He's got the Dreamville Foundation. He's got the reading clubs in North Carolina and things like that.
He needs to. I mean, not from here.
And so I don't even think that was really his pill to swallow.
Great guy.
But I can't even find.
Perfect.
There was another No Name tweet, because that first one was about the initial tweet that I think kicked everything off and got everybody's eyes sort of like, paying attention to the situation at hand. And then she tweets something along the lines of, on June 3rd, and this is important because if you look at the lyrics on J. Cole's song, when he has the cover art, which is the lyrics, like he's typing in his notes page on his app, right? So that's the cover art. That he started writing that on June 4th. No Name tweeted this on June 3rd. So mind you, she already posted the original tweet that started everything. But people are seemingly overlooking maybe another tweet that could have gotten him to start writing the next day. Okay? So on June 3rd, she said, "Be critical of every black man on here with a large platform advocating for black liberation. If they don't publicly criticize violence against black, trans, queer people, they are maintaining white dominance and are white supremacists." It's aggressive.
Put me in, coach. Put me in.
It's an aggressive tweet. But again, I think artists are very meticulous and aware of why they do certain things. So I don't have anything to really tell you. Like, I can't say that's the tweet that sparked it. I just find it interesting that nobody brings up this tweet, and his notes was created like the next day. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe it snowballed with the first one, and then this one was just like, all right. Now you really taking shots at me. Let me answer. Okay. I just wanted to provide that background. So Swale, take that pillow and run with it.
Wait, before you answer, in regards to the first tweet about, how she was saying, do you still have the first tweet up?
Yeah. Oh, you want me to say? Okay. Yeah. Poor black folks all over the country are putting their bodies on the line in protest for our collective safety, and y'all favorite top selling rappers not even willing to put a tweet up.
Okay. So my issue with that tweet is, I don't know why, and I feel like we do it a lot in our culture. I don't know why we feel like our celebrities need to be our saving grace.
Facts. Ooh.
I don't understand why we feel that they have to speak for us. They have to, be the Martin Luther King in our day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There are a number of people, especially people of color, who are out there doing the groundwork. Why do we need a celebrity to come in, say what they are gonna say, take the spotlight away from what we're doing over here, just because they're a person of color? Now, granted, if they wanna get out there and march like J. Cole did, go right ahead. If they wanna, donate to the person's family or, pay for funeral arrangements or whatever, that's all great stuff. But why do we feel like they have to be our voice? We're our own voice. So I don't agree with the first tweet. I don't need nobody speaking for what I go through every day.
Day to day, right?
Because they got white people money. They don't deal with the same things that we deal with every day.
Yeah, take that.
So I just wanted to say that before you started.
Yeah, man, I feel you. And quick, appreciate that. And quick side note too. Yeah, she definitely was. The only reason I'm saying this because he's disgusting. She was not talking about Chance. Chance hasn't had a good song or album since No Problem, so he's not top selling. The last album flopped.
Wait, that's not fair to say. She's not talking about him because his music wasn't good.
He's not top selling. And Chance is. I'm disappointed in Chance. We've been trying to come at Cole. Go love your wife. He's out of control. So I guess we're talking song only. Song only.
Wait. Sorry. Are we still on the J. Cole song?
Yeah, J. Cole song.
Okay.
We're not talking about Chance. We ain't talking about him in a while. We're talking about J. Cole song, Snow on the Bluff. Song only. I disagree with everything you just said. What I heard was...
Wait, with who?
Koney. When she said, when she was describing the song. What I heard was... I didn't hear somebody trying to reach out to a woman saying, teach me... I don't know. I heard somebody saying, I feel like he was fed up. Like everything Noname said, I feel like he's heard that before. Like we've all heard this before from other people saying Cole doesn't do enough. I'd be like, Cole doesn't do enough for the Carolinas. Like he's heard this before. And I just feel like that song was like, he was just fed up. So now he's trying to just let you know his point of view, saying, hey, I'm a rapper. I'm successful. I have money. I have a degree. That does not mean I'm educated on what's going on. So instead of you coming at me, how about you just teach me? You don't have to teach me, but don't come at me if you're not going to, put me on game. Like you said with the whole celebrity thing, I do agree. This is J. Cole. He's successful. This nigga he doesn't use social media. He probably doesn't watch the news. And then
when he does, it's usually to speak out about something.
Right.
And look at the way he dresses. Like nobody in Hollywood is going to say anything to him.
He doesn't care. Like he's a positive Kanye on a bubble. Like he's not really out there like that. It's definitely not fair to say he's not doing enough because he's not tweeting. Like you said, he was out there in Ferguson. He was out there marching in Fayetteville. I'm sure he's done other protests we just don't know about. He does a lot in the community.
He's backed Colin Kaepernick's situation. Personally donated towards his fund in Baltimore.
Right.
I mean, he's done his part.
He's done his part
relative to other.
Yeah, like he's done his not a lot. And kind of like he kind of mentioned as well. I think he's just saying that he's not going to be quick to tweet, especially the transgender and the gay situation. He's not going to be quick to tweet something about that if he's not educated about it. A lot of people are not educated about it. Everybody's still learning about the whole gay community. Like they're adding letters every day. Like people are getting canceled every day about something they said in like 2010 because they didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So that song was just him saying, look, I'm not the guy you guys think I am. I'm not your role model, which he said multiple times in the past, like, stop looking up to me. Don't look up to me. There's other people like Noname who's actually out there on the streets, who's educated to look up to versus me. So that's what I got from the song. I know we're going to talk about that tone line. I didn't take that as
Wait, but real quick, because I want to touch on what you just said, because I thought that was a very important piece to talk about. Why are we making it seem as if your outspokenness on Twitter is your validation,
which is crazy
for the cause?
Ridiculous.
So I mean, but because that was one of the first things that jumped out to me is okay. Noname says specifically because again she didn't attach names, so I'm not saying direct at Cole or whatever,
right?
But I'm saying that if we are talking about Cole and putting him into that context, knowing that he doesn't get on Twitter, knowing that he hardly doesn't use social media,
right,
why does she feel that his voice in that regard is something that he should do as opposed to whatever behind the scenes groundwork he may be thinking about planning to do?
Right.
I don't know. I think people need to understand that everybody fights the plight of discrimination and social and racial injustice, and just with everything that's going on. Everybody fights a little differently, right? So for me personally, I use social media. I talk to my friends. We have those hard conversations, and I'm raising a young black man. So that is my way of, and I donate to causes. I, look up and try to shop black owned things and stuff like that. Now, that is my way. That might not be Swale's way, but just because it's not his way,
you shouldn't come after somebody.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Like the whole, so and that's a great point. Like the whole, I know we can't pronounce the name. The girl who was talking about last week who got,
who was murdered, the 19-year-old?
Yeah.
Toyin.
So with that situation, so somebody sent me that, like her tweets, she had like a threaded tweet saying somebody help me, and I was just like why is she tweeting? Why is she not calling the police? Like I had a whole like line of questions. I didn't speak on it. I didn't post about it because I didn't understand what was going on. And then when I got the story, oh, okay, this is who this person is. Then I was like, okay, this is wrong. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about a celebrity's point of view. They don't have all the information. People are quick to get canceled. J. Cole says, hey, Black lives, I think we should focus on straight black lives versus trans lives. He's done. He's canceled. Out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Just no, he did not say that.
No, I'm just saying, like, you can't be quick. If he reacts to everything that he's seeing, trans dying, gay people dying, black people dying, he's gonna get canceled along that line somewhere without collecting all the information first. And that's just with everybody. That's not even with Cole. That's, in general.
Yeah, and to Koney's earlier point, we shouldn't be looking at celebrities like our saviors. I've been critical in our community because, as I've told both of you before, I'm all about educating myself. I'm all about listening to whoever needs that voice, to voice whatever frustrations or information that they have. I'm always going to start with accountability. I know that there are things that are way above our control. There are things systematically that are oppress us that we don't even have influence in, right? So there's right to be mad in certain aspects, but it's always accountability first. And the only critical thing that I've said is how many people of the many that tweet, of the many that put a black box on their Instagram page, what are you doing after that protest when you go home?
Right.
Is your role only to involve yourself in the trend? Because that's what it is. Let's just say what it is. The trend of activism. But are you really doing anything to better educate yourself? Are you acting locally and being involved in your communities? Like, what are steps 3, 4, and 5? Because I need to know that before you're just ready to be hypercritical of the next person.
Relax.
And that's not a shot to Noname. It's just saying if your validation is what is physically shown on social media, we're not even looking in the right direction. Because I could care less what you're doing on social media. I could care less what kind of tweet. I guarantee you there are so many impactful people that don't even have a social media account.
Yeah.
At all. And let's not act like the other week we was making fun of Virgil for posting. You know what I'm saying? Now we're trying to cancel somebody who didn't post. So it's like, what y'all want? Y'all make fun of my man because he donated 50, even though it's more than that. Made fun of him. Now we're making fun of somebody who don't post.
Let's switch gears real quick to the tone part. I'll let Swale. Well, no, let me let Koney start there because he said and again we've broken down. Well, maybe not on the show, but in conversations we've broken down the steps to this song or the flow of this song. In the beginning, there's a lot of humility. There is transparency. That look, I am not this guy that my fans have painted me as. And that's a whole other conversation that we can get a lot deeper into. Is my personal experience. J. Cole has never been, and this is also the reason why I said I felt this was more towards Kendrick Lamar, because J. Cole to me has never been, his conversation has never been specifically the black struggle. It's been, I'm this black kid that had a unique story, and I deal with things because I'm black. But I never, and when I listen to J. Cole's song, I mean, you hear stuff talking about the first time, when he lost his virginity, going to school, coming home. Like, he talks about his unique experience. I don't ever hear him. Well, he did have that whole album, For Your Eyes Only, where he, if you've seen any of the discussions behind that, he was rapping that entire album from another person's point of view. Did you guys hear about that?
I think so, maybe.
So he, for Your Eyes Only, which was his most critiqued album, he essentially did the entire album from his late friend's point of view, because he had a friend that died, basically living a lifestyle that he shouldn't have been living, ended up dying. But before he died, he asked J. Cole, hey, we've been boys since forever. You've always treated me the same, even though you blew up. If I happen to pass away before my daughter becomes of age, just let her know I was a good person. That's essentially what he requested of J. Cole to do.
This is a good guy.
So J. Cole, and again, this is alleged. This is alleged because he never came out and admitted it, and this is like fanfare, I guess. So take it with a grain of salt if you wish to. But people were able to piece together who he was talking about. And if you listen to the album, he speaks from experiences that involve like the drug game and other things. And you're like, J. Cole wasn't never in that, and he never admitted to being in that. So they kind of twisted that around. And then the final song on that, For Your Eyes Only, was basically that all in a nutshell of like a love letter to his daughter, to the man's daughter. So I got way off topic with that. But what I wanted to bring to the forefront is it's important, I think, for us to keep in mind who we're talking about.
Who we're talking about?
It's not.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Pause it real quick. Hold on. Let's keep it. Wait.
I want to talk about the tone thing, but
let's throw in there too with J. Cole. Two things here. Number one, this is a guy who does no type of marketing or promotion. This nigga does not use social media. When he drops, he drops. There it is. There's no album coming Friday. There's no album coming in a couple months. When Friday comes, you get the album. That's just what it is. This guy does not use social media. I don't know why you're expecting him to use social media now.
Well, not even that. But what I was trying to paint is, so his unique black experience. That's what he raps about.
Come on.
And then if you listen to his interviews, he has very few interviews. But in the few interviews that he does have, the one that sticks out in my head is his sit down with Angie Martinez, and he pleaded with her. He does not want his fans to look at him as some sort of superhero. He wants them
rapper.
And that aligns again with his messaging and his music of his unique black experience, which has been, I'm trying to figure this out. I embrace my imperfections. I have this crooked smile. I teach self-love. Right? There's no such, what is it? There's no such thing in a life that's better than yours. Or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he continuously speaks to self-love. So I think if anything, more than activism, Cole speaks to self-love more than anything else in his music. And so that's why I didn't think it was about him. But then also to that point, like I said, in the Angie Martinez sit down, he says, look, I don't want you to think the way I think. I think in 1,000 years, there's not going to be a celebrity. And that's a whole other different conversation to have. But my point is to set all of that up by saying, okay, we've got the framework for who this guy is.
Who he is.
None of us know him.
No, nobody.
So I could be completely wrong in thinking he's a good guy or whatever the case is, just like anybody else is.
Could be.
Now, when he says, he starts that song, He starts the song off with humility, and then that transitions into I identify that there's this woman that seems well educated, that praises her for being a strong black woman who is equipped to voice her opinions. And he says, maybe that's because of your upbringing. I don't really know, but you've got your shit together is basically what he's saying in the song. And then that transitions and goes off the cliff when he mentions, it was something about it. Another thing I don't like in social media, they keep coining the phrase queen tone like that's a phrase that's just been, nobody says queen tone. That's not like a thing, but they were coining that phrase as if, ooh, he said queen tone. Like what? He said the queen's tone.
This is disgusting. Go ahead, Koney.
There's an apostrophe there.
He's still talking.
But he's praising. I'm saying he said he called her queen because if he said this girl's tone or this nigga's tone, it would have been a whole different situation.
Exactly. And that's what I'm about to get to. This is ridiculous.
I'm about to lay it up for Koney. So anyway,
I'm blocking.
So he says the queen's tone, and then basically just spills out into his what he calls respectful way to address her and saying, hey, if you have information, if you've got the education, talk to me, speak to me, but do it in a way where it's not combative. And more importantly than that, if you're just like asking my personal take, we don't need to take these lyrics literally, because just like any other form of music, it's not to be taken literally. It's we are talking about an overall theme, but it's not to necessarily take my words like word for word and apply it directly as you hear it. So I think this was just a much bigger conversation, just emphasizing, because to Swale's point earlier, I'm sure it's not the first time he's heard that. So I think it was just an overall conversation to have with many people of, hey, we should all just approach each other with love and understanding and educate each other as opposed to like fighting each other. Because that was one of the more critical things that came from all of this. Everybody in the feed that didn't have one side or the other is just saying, why are we arguing about this? Right? But let's just start with the Queen Zone thing. Like when you heard that, Koney, did it strike a nerve? And this is the important thing. Did it strike a nerve when you heard it, or did it only strike a nerve when you saw backlash? Like did it change at all?
So in general, the overall song did not, strike any animosity in me for J. Cole. However,
there's a but.
No, because if I say but, that negates everything I said before that. So, however...
Oh, you've been doing your trainings. That's what you've been doing. I know training when I hear it.
However, when he says the queen's tone, right? Okay, so hear me out for a minute, guys. As a black woman...
Oh, okay.
Growing up black my entire life, being the darkest girl in the classroom, being the one with the kinkiest hair.
I remember when they used to say kinky hair.
Yeah.
You know what they were saying.
And just being a female in general.
Right.
You are always told to watch your tone. You are always told that, and I'm not going to say always, but you hear a lot, watch your tone. Or a lady should be seen and not heard, right? So when you hear Queen's tone, it automatically, for me, has a negative connotation. Because as a black woman, when we do speak out or when we do say something, we either become the angry black woman or it's just some negative connotation with whatever we're saying. So when he says the Queen's tone, I get it. He put queen on it to show respect to her, right? But when you say tone, and then especially in the type of song like this, when you're trying to address her about how, she should address you or other people who are, not as educated as her on the issue, it comes off a little bit slighted for me.
And that was your initial reaction without reading Twitter? Or
yes.
Without reading the sponsors? Okay, so you had already kind of like raised your eyebrow, like
I was like, tone, nigga, what?
Yeah, interesting, huh?
And for me,
I don't know where you're going with that.
Go ahead,
and for me, like I said, like tone, like just as a black woman, and I don't know if, black males hear this or not, or other, people of color who are women hear this, but especially as a black woman, we're always talked about our tone. So for him in that song to address her tone or how she's speaking about an issue she's passionate about or, has close to her heart, for me it was a slight. It was a slight jab.
Slight jab
for me. There are numerous other words that you could have used, and I feel like.
So that was my next question.
I disagree with that part though.
What
other
should
word
he have said then, as opposed to tone?
Yeah,
because it sounds like tone is the trigger word, which
it is a trigger word.
Which is fair if that's the connotation around it. I think the guy version of that is whenever we're just called an asshole because we just say things pretty like bluntly as opposed to with enthusiasm. But let's just stay on topic, Swale. I see you getting.
I'm about to say speaking on the tone topic.
But what should have he said, Koney, if it not for that?
I mean,
Vibe?
do we need to do it thesaurus?
I didn't like the Queen vibe.
I just think if he said any word, it would have
any word.
I don't know about any word. And
if
like I said,
demeanor, that would have been
that
bad.
definitely would have.
Yeah, that would have been
Vibe
bad.
would have been bad. Y'all
Vibe
would have.
What vibe?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I don't know.
I just feel like tone.
Sound like a lose-lose.
Of everything that y'all just said, I feel like tone is a trigger word for black women. Okay. So when you're, not necessarily having this beef, but having this dialect between you and another black woman, technically through song, tone is going to be a trigger word. I mean, it's just going to touch some strings in us, because if anybody else has grown up like me as a black woman, it triggers you a little bit. Because your tone is always talked about. Your tone is always, picked at or picked at or addressed in a conversation. And that's school, that's work, that tone is a trigger word for me.
Now, this doesn't mean that we excuse ignorance on this show, because we don't, or I personally don't. But are we giving J. Cole too much? And again, we know that unconscious actions have a negative effect, whether you meant to or not.
Just like your girl,
it might mean something.
She's trash.
So do we not? When I see this backlash and I see the cancel culture trying to approach J. Cole, are we giving too much? Are we feeding too much into? Are we just ignoring the fact that may have just been an honest mistake to even use the word? Like, do you think he really, really understood when he was writing it? Because it clearly didn't seem like he took too long to even write it. It seemed like he typed out his thoughts, he put a beat behind it. There's no construct or sequence to the song. It's literally just do this verse. It was too long to tweet. Let me just put it in a song and play it out. All I'm saying is,
I don't know if I'm going to give him that.
Well, no. I'm not. And this is not.
Yeah, he knew.
This is not me trying to give him any sort of cop out. All I'm saying is the context I provided earlier. I do feel it would be irresponsible to sort of treat it as one of those every sin is a sin situations. But we should compare him to maybe somebody else that may have a pattern of. Like, if we joke about Future all the time, but if Future said something like that, I would have been like, yo, he bugging, wilding, he knows what he's doing, blah, blah, blah. Does it not change it a little bit? And this is specifically not to the fact that it was a mistake. It's only to the fact of paying attention to what social media is trying to do, calling him a misogynist.
Disgusting.
Calling him a sexist.
Terrible.
I wouldn't say he's a misogynist or a sexist. I do feel everything that he wrote, he wrote intentionally.
Not intentionally
not intentionally of like being, rude or disrespectful,
malicious or anything. Yeah.
All of those words he meant, right? Now, if he knew what that word tone was gonna do, probably not.
I think
a lot of black men doesn't.
I don't think he did.
But
you don't think so?
I do believe how he wrote the song is how he wanted it to go. Yeah. I'm not gonna give him a cop out on that.
Yeah, it's not to excuse ignorance at all.
I don't know. This is what I'm gonna say, Koney. For the first time in a while, I do agree with the first part. I do believe, obviously, growing up, you guys hear, tone, watch your tone, watch your mouth, lower your voice. You know, I agree.
I heard that a lot too.
But at the same time,
That's why I say it might be for black men too.
No, it's not the same. It's not the same.
Oh, okay.
you know,